Hey everybody, welcome back. Craig Schaup here with George Thomas, our film critic from the Akron Beacon Journal. George, the summer is upon us in a lot of ways with the movie season extending into the spring. We have a huge release. It's Michael, the biopic of Michael Jackson. I guess this is probably years in the making. There's a lot of excitement for a few minutes, and then now it's kind of dissipated a little bit as the opening reviews from critics have come in. But I know last week you mentioned that Michael Jackson was a big influence on your life growing up. And also, obviously, I think you could probably say that about a lot of people growing up, grew up on Michael Jackson and his music. But is this biopic, which had a lot of promise, does it fall flat?
Flat. Flat? Oh, man. Flat. That might even be more generous than my review.
It moonwalks off the earth, right?
First, the good. Jafar Jackson, who portrays his uncle. He's very good. Of course, he had plenty of time to master the voice.
That is true, yes.
Yeah, apparently he used to do Family Game Night with Michael. So there we go. Coleman Domingo is Joe Jackson.
Yeah.
Delivers another Coleman Domingo-like performance.
Right.
That's where the good stuff ends. It's tedious for the most part. And yeah, it's a complete and total whitewash. You know how over the years Michael Jackson got a lot lighter through no fault of his own? Yeah, it's like that. It's a whitewash. Antoine Fuqua takes a lot of liberties. Especially, and see, this is what pissed me off. He took liberties with the founding or the rise of the Jackson 5. I mean, there is one song called "Never Can Say Goodbye," early Jackson 5 hit, and he has them playing it in some talent show that they win where they're discovered. And I'm like, and I just turned to my son who does reviews on YouTube, and I'm like, what the?
Yeah.
He's like, what? I'm like, that was like their fourth hit. And it's like, from that moment on, I was probably out of the film.
Yeah.
I really was. And, this is nothing new. It really is nothing new. And I wrote in my review, there is nothing new in this film that you could not find by going and looking at any number of YouTube videos on the subject. And Michael Jackson was a very complicated individual. From missing out on his childhood to, yes, the child abuse allegations, which I learned this week, are still being fought in court with two individuals by his estate. And Fuqua and the screenwriter whose name escapes me,
John Logan.
Yeah, they want to, or they want to deal with the rise of the Jackson 5 to basically Michael telling Joe Jackson to F off. That's what they want to deal with. And it's nothing beyond that. Now, no abuse allegations have ever been proven.
Right.
That's all I have to go on. But still, that's a subject that needs to be broached. Now, in all fairness, they tried to apparently, and the Michael Jackson estate paid millions to have reshoots done. So I can only guess at them saying, look, in the film here, do this, and we got you covered. And it's like, it's just, as a lifelong fan of Michael Jackson's music, it was a disappointment.
Yeah.
Anybody who is objective, and mind you, they are hardcore fans of any celebrity who will excuse anything.
Right.
I am not one of them. You show me proof that he abused kids, and guess what?
Right.
I'm right there. Yeah. And maybe I do the separate the art from the artist thing. Maybe not. I don't know.
Right.
But to not deal with it in any context is a disservice and insult to those fans.
Yeah, it seems like a big misstep, and there's a lot of promise. I'm not a big fan of Antoine Fuqua, but I do think you've got a great screenwriter in John Logan. He's a three-time Oscar nominee, so this is a guy that knows, and he's written movie. He wrote Sweeney Todd, for instance. So he knows how to write in different genres. So it's not like he's punching out of his weight class here necessarily. So it's a very big disappointment to hear that, and you kind of expect, I guess, when the estate gets involved that you're not going to get a full span of issues with Michael Jackson necessarily. And I don't get that, but I get it from their perspective. Why would they want this stuff out there, that's a non-documentary, biopic? But man, it just seems like it's a calculated risk that doesn't pay off from a critical aspect, but it probably will pay off, I suppose, for the box office. I mean, it's probably going to make a lot of money, and
worldwide, probably. In the United
Yeah.
States, we'll see. I mean, my perception is Michael Jackson had a bigger international audience towards the end.
Yeah.
I don't know what they did to John Logan's script. I really don't. But Sweeney Todd, that adaptation, the year that movie came out, and it was what? God, doesn't matter when. It was my best picture of the year. I thought it should have won. But to have to sit through this, and mind you, to some extent, Coleman Domingo's performance, which is oily, distasteful, manipulative. Think of any bad adjective you could have for a parent and how they deal with their child, and he exemplifies it. I mean, his performance is right where it needs to be. I mean, he's, for lack of a better term, hissable. But everything else, no, just no.
Yeah, it sounds like a big disappointment, but again, looks like it's going to be another box office success, and it just feels odd. It just, you have a big movie like this when you're gonna, you have a studio behind it. Now, obviously, again, once you get that family involved, it just seems like you were destined for failure, because you're not going to be able to tell a full picture of Michael Jackson's life. And I'm not saying you need to tell an entire lifespan of him, but it just feels like you're really missing out. And the studio should probably think like, well, we're really missing out on not painting an entire picture of this person and, being a three-dimensional character on screen.
Oh, his daughter has disowned the movie.
Really?
Yeah. Paris Jackson disowned the movie. And when I did a little research in the course of writing my review. I Googled, how much does the Michael Jackson estate make on a yearly basis? And it's upwards of $100 million. He's consistently still.
Consistently earns over $100 million.
You hear my Google Home?
Recently, it was reported to have made about 100.
That's a lot of money. I mean, and they're probably going
Okay,
to get
Google, stop.
and they're probably going to get that in tenfold maybe with the box office here.
Maybe, but it's like it's 100 million, up over 100 million a year. You get why they paid for the reshoots.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the cash cow that keeps on giving. And with all due respect, his music is timeless, and it's going to keep giving and giving and giving and giving. Period. As new generations discover him, they're just not going to discover the real person. And the weird part is, I wrote this in my review. A lot of people aren't going to understand a fact that And you're 40 something.
40. I'm 41.
So that puts you at not even born at the heyday.
No.
Yeah, this is blasphemy in today's to Gen Z. Michael Jackson was bigger than Tay Tay. Period.
Yeah, I
And
saw
he,
that in your review. Yeah,
and
I
he
mean
did it.
he's
He did it
the king
without
of pop.
social media.
Yeah,
Yeah, he did it
yeah,
without social media.
right.
I
Yeah,
can only imagine what it would be like had social media existed back
oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean even growing up, he was still a big star, and even when the '90s hit, he was still a big star for me. So yeah, I mean it was. It wasn't necessarily like my cup of tea all the time with his probably more modern music as opposed to like his early stuff. But obviously with MTV in that era, you were able to watch Thriller and other music and videos that he had that made him who he was. I can't remember the documentary. There was a pretty good documentary several years ago. Was it Man in the Mirror? Maybe.
then. I believe
Um,
so.
that was a pretty solid documentary at that time. I didn't even Spike Lee make a documentary on Michael Jackson or produce
That
one or something.
I do not know.
Yeah, it looks like he did something. Yeah, he did Bad 25.
Well, there you go.
But yeah, unfortunately, I'm not. I guess it's sort of a surprise because you would at least think that it would maybe divide critics, but not get such a
27%.
terrible response.
Is it still
Yeah.
at 27% or RT?
I don't usually look at Rotten Tomatoes as much. I use Metacritic more because it's a nice composite list. But yeah, it's 36% now, and it's 38 on Metacritic. So it's definitely
See the influence you got in.
yeah, it's definitely struggling here. It's probably even lower. I think that's definitely lower rated. I think than even Bohemian Rhapsody was. But yeah, it's just kind of it sounds like a big mess and almost like it didn't even deserve a Hollywood studio kind of movie. Almost is how bad it's being received.
It's a money grab, but another nitpick. How the hell do you waste Miles Teller?
Well, didn't you say in your review that Janet Jackson is not even
Her
like,
name is not uttered. Not once.
which seems odd, right? I mean, I would think
She was closer to Michael than any of his other siblings.
yeah.
I mean, probably because she of that family was the only one who could appreciate what he went through with respect to fame because
Sure. Yeah.
she had her. I think Janet's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as well. So she was big, not Michael Jackson big, but she was big.
Yeah. Well, I know you're like you said you were pretty generous. You gave it a C. You can obviously read or watch George's review there at beaconjournal.com. I know there are some good things out there that you've watched. I know that you have your streaming blog out there that you've done with Netflix's second season of Beef is out, and you are really enjoying it.
Yeah, it's delicious. I mean, you've got a great cast in Oscar Isaac and Carey Mulligan, and they play this. I don't know if they're millennials. They're not Gen X. They've got to be older millennials. And the series creator, and I'm not going to try and pronounce his name, sets up a lot of the beef refers to a lot fights, basically.
Right.
It's not food, but there are just a lot of different spats from different perspectives in here. There's Gen Z versus millennial. There's intramarital conflict. There are cultural conflicts between people of Korean descent and America. It's just, and it's laced together beautifully. Oscar Isaac and Carey Mulligan play this couple who are having a battle royale one night. I mean, and it got ugly. There was no actual physical violence, but I don't know in your marriage, and don't answer if you don't, but in my marriage, there are times I've clutched something like, nothing was nothing, but nothing was going to happen with it. But
Yeah.
that's how heated it got. And in today's age, a Gen Z couple that works at the country club that Oscar Isaac's character manages, is stopping by to drop off his wallet, and they capture the fight on their cell phone, and it sets off this never-ending stream of blackmail between a lot of different people, but that is the impetus, and it's just absolutely fascinating to watch this all unfold. I mean, the series is very bingeable. The characters are fascinating. The performances from Isaac and Carey Mulligan are just, having been married for close to 35 years, I'll say very authentic. Because when you're married for any length of time, you know how to press buttons.
Yeah.
And what's really nice is the series creator, the directors, they go through the ups and downs of any marriage and explore it all. And I watched the first 6 episodes and I had to move on to something else. I'm looking forward to having to go back to those last 2. It won't happen within the next week because I won't be in the country. So
now, did you watch the first season? I haven't gotten into the first season yet, but I know it's been well received as well. But did you watch the first season, or can you jump right into this if you haven't?
You can jump right into this. I went in blind.
Okay.
I went in blind. I'll be honest, I set up a calendar every month with what to potentially review based on cast members and everything. You see the name Oscar Isaac and Carey Mulligan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to look. So that's basically what I did, and I'm not disappointed.
It's a major coup for them to get. I mean, you're talking about, Mulligan's an Oscar-nominated actress, and Oscar Isaac very well respected as well. So, yeah, I mean, great cast there for Beef Season 2. Now, I know we're kind of doing a reverse good, bad, good sandwich. We're kind of doing a bad, good, bad sandwich here, but I know you also saw Balls Up on Amazon Prime. Wow. I'll let you take it away on this one.
I know I had a tough time writing that review simply because the film is just so, you ever see Bachelor Party?
Yeah. Long time ago.
Yeah, Bachelor Party was vulgar for the 80s.
Yeah.
This is 10 times beyond Bachelor Party. Between the drugs, the sex, the murder, it stars Mark Wahlberg and Paul Walter Hauser, and I don't know why he agreed to do this movie.
I don't know why either of them did, but I guess when you have a Farrelly brother helming the project, I don't know.
But and see, even with a Farrelly brother, you have an expectation of what you're going to get,
right?
Because we're talking. The Farrelly brothers are notorious for movies like There's Something About Mary and the infamous hair gel scene,
yes,
or Kingpin,
right,
with Woody Harrelson's bad wooden arm.
Yes.
And I with all due, I consider both of those classics. They're they're vulgar comedy classics.
Yeah,
I own copies of them. They're immensely enjoyable, and they stand up. But this, with the story of 2 condom salesmen stuck in Brazil trying to avoid being killed by a cartel, and the drugs, the eating of endangered species, and just the references, it's like, okay, Peter Farrelly hasn't lost it, but okay, at least in that respect. But the payoff isn't there. Wasn't there for me, and I don't know if I even graded it. I just
You did not. You did not grade it on your capsule review. What would you grade this
oh, that's a solid D.
streaming classic?
Normally,
Isn't
you can count a few laughs, but there were hardly any.
Yeah. Has there ever been a two-time Oscar winner with such a range of terrible filmography as the Farrelly brothers? I mean, Peter Farrelly has a Best Picture and a Best Screenplay Oscar. And like you said, there's something about Mary, Kingpin, Dumb and Dumber. I mean, there's things to like about him. And then sometimes it just, I liked Fever Pitch as well with Jimmy Fallon and Drew Barrymore. I mean,
Boston Red Sox movie.
Yeah, but I mean, how uneven can a career be? But he's like the poster child for like an uneven Oscar-winning career.
And he probably doesn't care because he's got plenty of money.
No,
you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. I can't think of another career like that. No, you're.
I mean, he has more. I'm not trying to like upset the film fanboys, but he has more Oscars than Martin Scorsese does.
Wow.
So
hate mail.
Put that into the Hall of Fame of movie takes there. He has more Academy Awards than Martin Scorsese, but we know that's not a, whatever. But yeah, it just seems like a weird, I don't know. Is it like, sometimes I've heard people say it takes great talent to make a terrible movie, because you also can make a great movie. Not that Green Book's a great movie, but like you said, there's something about Mary is fantastic. Kingpin is hilarious. I do like Dumb and Dumber, Fever Pitch, like I mentioned. But do you think that's kind of true? Like, you have to be like super talented to make a just terrible movie, because anybody can make a not good, forgettable, whatever kind of movie. But to make a movie that is just absolutely at the bottom of the barrel, don't you have to have a little bit of talent to do that? Because at least you've done something out of the ordinary, I suppose.
I think it's maybe a case of him or someone pushing their boundaries. You know what I mean?
And not knowing their boundaries,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think this is a case of that. Or maybe he's just, I don't know, out of touch.
Yeah. Could be. I feel like somebody to wrangle him in. Like the Farrelly brothers need someone to like wrangle them in and be like, yeah, maybe not that, or maybe this, maybe just like an editor that's just kind of like a ghost editor, just kind of like, or maybe like a script doctor, just like, maybe we don't need to go that far.
You really think they don't have Final Cut?
Oh, I'm sure they do. I mean, he's two-time Oscar winner, right? You don't need to worry about Final Cut anymore. He's got it.
I don't think when you reach that level of success, you're going to let anybody touch your vision. I mean, look at what's happened with is it Joel Cohen, who's gone off on his own, and it's like that first one was like, what the action?
Yeah, I mean the Coen brothers have been a weird. I don't know if I wouldn't say a breakup, because I don't know if it's Ethan that's done the. Ethan has done the weird.
Okay.
Eccentric movies. It's Ethan that's done it. Joel did like the Macbeth movie with
his
Frances
wife?
McDormand and his wife, his wife and Denzel Washington. So yeah, they've kind of gone off on these little weird diverging lines a little bit here, but yeah, I'm not sure if if there was like a breakup with the Coen brothers, or if they just felt like it was time to move on by themselves. But
maybe they're just looking at a way to rejuvenate their collaboration. They'll get back to it someday. That's quite.
That would be nice. Yeah, that would be nice. All right. Well, anything else that you've been able to catch up on, or watch, or stream over the last week or so?
Wow. I'll be honest. I've been preparing for vacation.
Smart man. All right. Well, I'm assuming we'll take that week off, and maybe we'll get back at it the next week with a summer movie preview, perhaps.
Perhaps, but yeah, next week, this time next week I'll be in the Bahamas.
All right. Well, enjoy the weather enjoy the sun. You'll actually see some sun for a change, unlike in Ohio, I guess. But
Sunny right here. It's right.
it's sunny right now. Wow.
Yeah, we had
Okay.
sun most of the day, and it was 75.
Wow. Okay. Good job, Ohio. I'm glad we had like 80, but I'm glad Ohio's getting some of
What
that
is
warm
this
weather.
competition?
No, because there's no competition with the weather. Let's put it that way. I lived in Ohio long enough to know that it doesn't really compete with anybody with weather, except for maybe Michigan or Minnesota or Wisconsin or something. But yeah.
Yeah, correct.
All right, my friend. Well, as always, we appreciate you stopping by, talking to us, and we hope you have a great vacation. And we will see you soon for some summer movie releases.
Oh, it's that time of year already. Yes, you will.